Today we're here test riding the Suzuki DRZ400E, New Zealand's #1 selling 400cc enduro bike. The DRZ has been New Zealand's #1 selling 400cc enduro bike since its introduction into New Zealand in 2000, and it hasn't really been changed a lot. It's a great bike, it has awesome power, it's very linear, you don't get tired riding it, so you can ride it all day without getting too tired. You don't have to be as fit as what you are riding some of the 450s that have got a lot of brutal power and tend to bounce around a lot more than what the Suzuki DRZ400 does. The DRZ400 has electric start, which is a great feature for anyone. The DRZ400 also has grease nipples on the suspension, which allows you to grease your suspension and you don't have to strip the bike down to lube all your bearings and stuff like that, so it's really good. Has an 18-inch rear wheel, so it's really good for trail riding, less prone to punches and things like that. Comes standard with an O-ring chain. It comes standard with a headlight and tail light, and it holds 1700 mils of oil, which is considerably more than other manufacturers and increases your service interval. It's got a 39mm key-in flat slide carburetor, which really gives you good throttle response when you're in those tight bush situations and need to accelerate over logs and things like that. It has big radiators and an overflow tank, which allows you to follow your kids around on the trails and not have to worry about overheating. And also in tight muddy situations, the bike won't overheat, so that's really good. Top gear sees you tapped out at around 155 kilometers an hour, which is really a great thing if you're cruising from one section to another in a trail ride or an enduro. You can make up a little bit of time, which is a really good thing for me as far as I'm concerned, because I can be a bit slow on the trail. Also, first gear is nice and low, so you can putter along behind your kids, and then second, third, fourth, you know, you've got a really good lot of ratios there for riding through the trails. And also, if you want to go and do a bit of motocross, you've got the gearing to do it. At 119 kgs, the DRZ is seen to be a little bit heavy, but once you get used to that little bit extra weight, which is not a great deal more than some of the other manufacturers on the market, it is a really good thing. It sticks to the ground really good and won't buck around as much as other bikes. Therefore, you won't get as fatigued over the course of a riding day. And really, the only thing you need to do to a DRZ400 is slip on an aftermarket muffler, which tends to be what everyone does. And it just gives you that little bit more throttle response, and it's worth around 3.5 to 4 horsepower at the rear wheel. So all in all, the DRZ400E at $8,995 represents fantastic value. I cannot see how you can go past one.
In this week's Star Insurance National News, Rotorrua's Michael Phillips has crashed and seriously injured himself during a photo shoot with his Honda team in the UK. The 22-year-old crashed heavily, with his body hitting the crossbar of the bike. After being rushed to hospital, he underwent surgery to remove his spleen, which meant cutting through his stomach muscles. He also lost 3 litres of blood, as well as breaking his collarbone during the crash. His ride has been left open with his Honda team, however it will be at least 6 weeks until he gets back on the bike. We wish you all the best, Michael.